Molly.
All right. Welcome to this week's episode of Those Two People in That One Podcast. Mm-hmm. I'm Brandon, and this is... Got timing?
Hi, Molly.
Hope you all watched last time. If you did, it was the AJR one. You got to see little Molly singing at the end. I'm not sure if she even knows I put that in there, but that's in there. So
You told me.
Did I tell you? So fast forward and enjoy that. This week we're going to talk about Gilmore Girls.
Yeah.
We got the series from the library.
Yeah.
The first 7 seasons, and then the kind of standalone Netflix, summer, winter, spring, fall.
Good job.
Those are not. Does it get them in order? I didn't think those in order. Anyway, that was 2016 or whatever, and so we finished watching those last night. We finished watching them, not all in one sitting, but
2 sittings.
Two sittings. It was rough. Didn't do much work. So we're just going to talk about that for a little bit, what we liked, didn't like, what we thought of the overall series, and then post online and move on to the next one next time. I think that'll be maybe book series we didn't like. I don't know what it's going to be. But anyway, so we'll give like ratings at the end, I guess, what we thought of the overall main series and then second series. But like, what did you enjoy about it? Like, you're 15-year-old girl. It's about a mother and a daughter and their life. So,
What
did you think about it from a 15-year-old girl's perspective?
I liked it.
Yeah.
I like the characters.
Any of the characters you didn't like?
I didn't like Paris, the whole series.
Oh, I love Paris. No. Didn't like when I first met her, but she grew on me.
She started to grow on me, and then she stopped and fell so far.
At what point was that?
With the professor.
Oh, yeah, that was gross. That was gross.
Nasty.
Yeah. So, favorite character?
I like Luke or Kirk.
Yes.
Kirk is funny.
So Luke is like the main. He's introduced at the very beginning, and
Keep hitting the table. Whoops.
Kind of their story, I guess. And Kirk is a quirky side character. He's in most of the episodes somewhere, just for a little bit. A lot of times he gets more playing time than others, but he's got a couple short movies he releases in the series. They're pretty good. Weird, but good. And then, was it what you thought it was going to be about? Like, I mean, because there's sometimes you watch a series and be okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I'd wanted to watch it, not since it originally came on, but when I had a daughter, I was like, that would be a fun series to watch with her, because it's...
That's me.
Yeah. She's my daughter, in case you didn't know. Put 2 and 2 together and figured out she's my daughter.
Yeah.
So it was just one of those shows I had heard about that sounded like it would be fun to watch. I think it was originally at CW, so I didn't have real high hopes for like production value or writing, or I just wanted it to be like a fun show. And it was. I enjoyed it. The consensus on Reddit is that when Rory gets her haircut at the beginning of a few episodes into season 4, I think. Was it when she goes to college?
I think it's...
Or her last year as a senior?
The year after her freshman year of college.
Okay. Yeah, so I think season 4, we think. And I think we agree that's when the story started going down.
Well, that's just when Rory started going down. I think everybody else stayed the same. Yeah. But Rory became a way worse character.
If you're looking for a show that is...
filled with family value.
This is not your show, right? Or a show where the mom is a parent instead of... While being a friend, this is a show where she's a friend and occasionally a parent. But it makes for good TV. I mean, makes for entertaining TV. Some of my favorite characters were the grandparents. I really liked the grandfather.
I liked Emily, the grandmother.
The grandmother.
And the second series more.
Okay, yeah. She's a little less cold. Yeah. I liked Kirk. Rory's best friend, Lane, starts a band. And interesting fact that Gil, who's in the band, is actually the lead singer of a 80s heavy metal hair band called Skid Row. And it's funny because he's not in a lot of them, but he's in a fair amount.
Quite a few.
And in one of the episodes, Skid Row's song is actually playing on the car radio as Luke and Lorelai are driving back somewhere. So you get to hear him singing in his room. It was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Pretty cool little tribute for him. I liked Kirk. I liked Luke. What's the receptionist's name at the hotel? What was his name?
Michelle?
Yeah, Michel.
Michelle.
He's a French receptionist or front desk. I'm not sure what they call it. Host person, is that what they are? Receptionist, host, whatever. And he's very funny.
He grew on me a lot. I liked him a lot during when it started, but then his character grew more also, which was nice.
Yeah, he's a real, not temperamental, but he's strong, opinionated. He's arrogant, kind of looks down on everybody. The job is a little bit beneath him, but he like Molly said, the first few episodes I did not like the guy.
I don't know why you didn't. He was funny.
Yeah, I just didn't like him. I thought it was weird. Maybe because I thought it was weird that a French person would be working in the middle of some 9,000 person East Coast town.
I don't even think there were 9,000 people.
And the show does what it typically, like all shows kind of do. When when the streets need to be empty at night for some weird scene, there's nobody out on the streets.
Yep.
But then the rest of the show, the cars are driving by at night all the time, and people are walking in the streets. But that's just kind of a TV. I didn't like really any of. I liked Logan, her last boyfriend, but I didn't like him at first. Other than that, I didn't like any of Rory's choices in her boyfriends.
Dean wasn't too bad when he was her boyfriend.
Yes.
And Jess was... Like, I saw a Pinterest post about this, and it was saying how high school Rory was way too good for Jess. Yeah. But then college Rory was way too low for Jess.
Yeah, I can see that.
He aged and he grew up, but she
just...
Yeah, stayed the same.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean... There was not a lot of character growth. Like, Rory, if anything, in one of the episodes, she likes this guy, Logan, super rich guy, and he won't initiate things with her because he basically tells her that she's not like every other girl. She's special. Mm-hmm. He doesn't want to get things too physical with her because he knows how he treats girls. Mm-hmm. And then she proceeds to then the rest of the series become not special and acts like every other girl that you... I mean, just... Like I said, once she got her haircut, she kind of went downhill.
College Rory's not it. She's not the vibe.
No.
Where'd my ice go?
It melted because you put hot coffee in there.
But I cooled it down with milk first.
Did you know, side note, we went to a cool coffee place one time, me and Janet, my wife. Mm-hmm. And they actually had, instead of ice cubes, they had frozen coffee cubes. Yeah. So when it melted, it didn't dilute your coffee.
Mom used to make those.
It was a great idea. Works really well. I wish they would have, because I watched Frasier, mm-hmm. and the relationship between Frasier and his dad started off kind of like Lorelai and Emily. Cold, didn't really like each other, kind of put up with each other. But at the end of the series, they had grown to enjoy being around each other, and just that they grew. In this series, the relationship between Lorelai and her mom just
I love how it stayed that way.
Oh,
Because
okay.
some things just don't change.
Yeah, I see that.
I mean, it's not realistic.
Yeah.
Well, it's more realistic that their relationship didn't change.
You're probably right. But as a person who, like, enjoys the hope of seeing, hopefully it'll get better, hopefully it'll...
Well, they tolerated each other more.
They did.
It wasn't like they were still cold and... Yeah, whatever.
So...
Words.
Words.
English.
And then... I think I would have liked to have seen... So in the original, if you haven't seen the end of it by now, it's been like, I don't know, ended in 2007.
Not
so
our fault.
If you don't know, oh well. I'm not going to apologize for that. Luke and Lorelai get together in like season, 5, 6,
Yay.
5. Everybody's happy, 6, whatever. And then they just throw these artificial hindrances to them getting together. And at the end of this first series, if there wouldn't have been a second series, they're just not together.
Yep.
For no good reason other than, no good reason, really. So that was kind of a bummer. Overall, I think I'd give the first 7 seasons, I'd give the first 3 seasons probably 7.5 or 8. They were good, they were fun. The writing is really bantery and quick, and it's really good. Like if you like quick-witted back and forths, and it's really, really good writing. The humor is really good. Lots of cool, quirky characters in the show. They get screen time.
Yeah.
And then when she goes away to college, I think it goes just each of the seasons starts going down just a little bit in quality.
Yep. I would agree.
It was fun seeing Rory and her grandfather's relationship grow, because at first he couldn't even stand her. He'd want to even be around her.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say if you're gonna watch it with your kids, I would say just be aware after season. I think it's after season 3, beginning of season 4, when she goes, whenever she cuts her hair, that's when you really got to be curious about which episodes you watch, depending on the ages that they're in. Well, a lot of it is sex this, sex that. They're, and if you're watching it with, a 12-year-old kid, you may not want them to have those conversations. But if you're watching it with your 15, 16, 17-year-old kids, it's probably not a big deal. I wouldn't have felt comfortable watching it with you when you were 12.
Well, that's your problem.
Yeah, so. And that's why we didn't. Because, and then the second series, the Netflix one, which is 2016.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
The first 2 episodes were good.
Yeah.
And the last 2 episodes were not.
It takes place...
Lots of filler.
Yeah. They're each about, an hour and a half?
Around there.
Takes place 10 years later.
Yeah.
Luke and Lorelai still not married.
Nope.
But dating for the past 9 years.
And living together.
Living together. Yeah. Rory is not doing well.
Ugh.
She wanted to be a journalist.
I hate her.
And things aren't going well. She is dating some guy that she can't remember his name, or is it Pete?
Paul.
Is it?
It's Paul.
Yeah, Paul. Can't remember she's dating him. She is hooking up with Logan whenever she's in London. He's engaged. And then she ends up at some point in the series having a one-night stand with a cosplay Wookiee. Yeah. And back to the point where Lorelai is more of a friend, instead of asking her daughter, hey, that seems kind of uncharacteristic for you to just have a one-night stand. She says, what took you so long? Like, I'm surprised you haven't. Like, it's those type of things you just like, okay. And I did think it was interesting when Rory gives her valedictorian speech, or her speech, was it in college? Did she give the speech? So, high school?
Yep.
She looks out at her mom and says, I want to be just like you, at the end. Because I just looked this up on Reddit. because I was wondering.
She turned out just like her.
She turned out just like her mom, because the last line of the show
the
is
Netflix series.
of the Netflix series is, "Mom, I'm pregnant."
Yeah.
At 32.
Yeah.
So she waited a little bit longer to be just like her mom, but we don't. Molly thinks it's Logan's. I'm not sure when timelines are, because I'm not sure when the Chewbacca guy was. If that was.
She had the one night stand with the Wookiee in.
Was it summer? Okay.
I'm trying to think.
Okay.
Spring.
Okay.
And then that took place in fall, so she would have known. Everybody would have known before then.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure it's not.
Okay.
Or I could be wrong on the timeline there. It could have been summer.
Could have been
I
summer,
think it was
but
spring.
but even though it was it would have been the end of fall when she told her mom. So that would have been a long time. You're right. So it probably is Logan, because she hooked up with him one more time before she finally maybe tells him goodbye. We think she tells him goodbye. He gives her key back. She gives him his key back, and basically says goodbye to all of his crazy friends.
Yeah. I liked his friends.
His friends were very.
Finn was my favorite.
Which one was he?
The Australian one. The insane mental one.
Yeah,
He's
he was.
funny.
He wasn't the guy that bought everything, right?
No, but he was good too.
Yeah.
He bought in one night, because whenever he's drunk, he impulse buys things. So he bought a tango club.
Mm-hmm.
He bought some sort of car. I forgot which one.
Yeah, I don't remember what kind of car it was either, but
And a hotel.
yeah. Yeah, and then kicked everybody. Didn't he kick everybody out because he bought it and was like, "No, we're staying here tonight."
Yeah.
So yeah, he was very fun. So like I said, all of the side characters in the show make the show worth watching. I
Yes.
think they're very
I
very
like
very
Suki
good.
too.
Yeah,
She's sweet.
I like her. Yeah, I don't think there's a really side character other than the boyfriends that I really was like, oh, he's on again or she's on again.
I did not like Luke's family. Liz and TJ, they annoyed me.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
I didn't like them at all.
I liked the mayor. The dance lady was okay. She was kind of funny, though.
She's so funny. And, what is it? Bat Bat?
In what?
Bat Bat? The neighbor? The
Oh.
old lady?
Yeah.
Bat Bat and Morty. They
Yeah.
were funny.
They were funny.
She was
She is
unique.
Sally Struthers. Sally Struthers. And she was in, for you people that remember way back, All in the Family with Archie
what?
Bunker. She was on a show back in the late 70s, early 80s called All in the Family, and she was the daughter on that show.
Oh, wow.
It was
She's
about,
old.
yeah, it was, from what, I only watched a couple of episodes because it wasn't my humor, but it was Archie Bunker and his wife Edith. They had a daughter, which was Sally Struthers, and she was married to, like, some guy, but I think he was, like, a hippie. And Archie Bunker was basically, I mean, it was, you couldn't air the show today because, like, I don't know they used the N-word, but there was clearly cracker, and he did not like his black neighbor. I mean, it was, you couldn't put it on TV today, but that was just on at like 7 o'clock on Tuesdays on CBS. But she was on that show. Other than that,
She was funny.
I couldn't tell you. She has a very distinctive voice.
Yes.
And it was the same. It's just the same voice in Archie Bunker. I just remember the voice. It's like, wow. So, she was fun. Yeah, all the characters, the writing. It's just the morals of the show are not very. It's not. There's not a lot of parenting going on. Now, I think the grandparents tried to parent Rory and try to do good with their daughter.
My foot was buzzing.
But I think other than that, and I think Luke did pretty good with his kid.
Yeah, but why did he have a kid? That's stupid.
I missed that episode. I watched most of them, and then my daughter, it's summer break, so she got ahead of me on some of them. So I missed
She
a few
had
of the
a
episodes.
science fair, and she had 3 people that could have been her dad. So she went and she got a piece of their hair each, and then she took it to a lab, and she tested it, and it came back that Luke was her dad, but she wasn't, like, interested in him being her dad. So then that made him try harder, basically.
How did she get his hair?
She came to the diner and pulled it off his head.
That's not creepy. But and she was actually a pretty good character. I wish she would have been in the show more. And
I didn't like her.
I think the other thing that annoyed me about the whole Luke and Lorelai thing, like, so you just find out you're having a daughter, or you had a daughter.
You're having a kid.
She was what, 12?
Yes,
13?
12.
And then he refuses to tell Lorelai
For
that
3 months.
He has her for 3 months, and then after he tells her, after he knows, and then after he tells her, he doesn't let her have any contact because the mom.
Because he's afraid that she'll be her favorite, that Lorelai will be
right, which
his kid's favorite and won't want him anymore.
Right. And it seems just out of character for Luke to, like, there was a lot of things later in the series you're kind of like, that doesn't seem like that would have actually been something would have happened. So overall, first series rating, what would you give it overall?
8.
An 8 overall? Wow, okay.
Out of 10.
I would give the first 3 like an 8, first 3 seasons. And then I would give the rest of the season, I'd probably average it out to like a 6.5 or 7. Wow. I did not like season 7 at all. If you look on, Reddit has a chart for ratings, and you can see things go from, there's a lot of green and yellow in the first 3, more green than yellow. Second 3 seasons, so 4, 5, and 6, there was more yellow than green, but still pretty. In the 7th season, there was like 4 or 5 reds, a lot of yellows. I think the only green was the finale. So
I didn't like the finale.
Yeah, the finale was bad.
The episodes also got shorter over time. They started out and they were like 50 minutes to an hour long, and then they ended and they were like 40 minutes.
Yeah. What didn't you like about the finale?
I thought it was really cliche, and they could have done a lot more with it.
How did it end?
Luke made the big party for Rory because she had to leave, and they didn't have time to make a party for her.
Right.
And then Lorelai was like, "Why'd you do that for me?" And he was like, "I just want to see you happy." And then they kissed.
And they kissed, and
I
then
was like, "What the heck?"
Yeah.
Could you be more cliche?
I mean, it would have been cool because we were talking at one point. I think we were on one of our date nights, or whatever, and we were talking about how we think it should have ended. And a lot of shows use the last, when they know they're ending, will spend the last 10 or 15 minutes of it with or even 5 minutes of it, with a little shot forward 6 months in the future, a year into the future. And they could have done 5 or 10 minutes on just flash.
And they could have had Luke and Lorelai get married.
Yeah, they could have had flash forwards of how Rory's career was going, Luke and Lorelai getting married at some point. They wouldn't have, and to end it, and then to start the next series with them still not married. It just, because I think they needed the payoff. I think they needed people to stay around and watch.
Yeah. Everybody that I've talked to about it said that they hate the second series.
Yeah.
Which is understandable because it's not very good.
But it started off, I was surprised the first 2 episodes. I was like, they were really good. There was not a lot of filler, was there? Was it the third one where they spent 10 minutes in the musical?
On a musical, and then they didn't really explain what was happening or why people were getting so upset about the music. It was really confusing.
Yeah. They could have probably condensed the whole. They either needed to make it a long series, like a regular 22 episode season series, or just have made it a movie.
Yeah.
Because there was so much filler in the 3rd and 4th episodes.
They could have just put the 3rd and 4th episodes together.
Yeah, that'd have been good.
And then done an extra episode. Or a short episode or something.
Right. Of Rory maybe going to, because she gets the off.
Because she gets pregnant.
Yeah,
and we don't know whose kid it is.
That's true. And now she won't be able to get her master's because Chilton offered her a teaching position if she'd go get her master's. So now she probably can't do that.
Because she has a kid.
She did write a book called
Gilmore Girls.
No, it was called The.
Right, but
Gilmore
she dropped
Girls.
the
then her mom said to drop the.
I don't know.
Then it just turned into a Gilmore Girls.
So original.
Yeah.
Never would have thought.
So overall, you would give the second series
3.
Wow. Okay, I would go back and I'd probably give it a 6.5 because I really enjoyed the first two, and maybe my expectations were just so low that they were like, and then my expectations got raised, and then the last two episodes were just such dog poo.
Yeah, the third episode they had the whole filler with the play, and then the fourth episode they had a whole filler with what was it? Well, they had Luke and or not Luke, Logan and Rory, and they had that whole like 5-minute clip about them just
the town being empty and them dancing in the streets, hitting golf balls off the roofs of places, and lights somehow got set up on the top of the roof so they could see each other, and they broke into the grocery store and just took food, but they paid. They dropped cash. They paid.
Well, that's some hundreds.
Yeah. They drove to New York City where What's-His-Face bought the club, and they danced all night, and then they went to the inn and spent the night there, and it was just...
There was another filler too, but I forgot.
At the end, when they got married before the wedding, they had all
that's right.
It was probably 5 minutes long of them slow motioning through. They just didn't have enough material, but they had to fill the time.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I would say if you like quirky shows, if your expectations are managed, you'd probably enjoy it. Especially the first series, and especially the first three or four seasons.
Yes.
But I would probably skip the Netflix one, honestly. I mean, just know that Luke and Laura get married, and Rory gets pregnant, and you're good to go. There's nothing else really there.
Did they ever let you know whose kid it was, or did they just end it?
That just ended. They ended in which credits?
No, I know, but is there a Reddit thing?
There is talk about maybe another Netflix.
No.
Yeah. So, because they said an average of 5 million people watched it, so that's pretty good. I mean,
that's crazy. We're part of the 5 million.
Well, yeah, I guess because we got it from the library. So. Didn't pay any money for that.
We shouldn't contribute.
Yeah, so
boycott it.
A lot of good songs. I'd say that there's a lot of good songs, and you have to watch it for Kirk's 2 movies. They're really good, and just enjoy the characters. That they're really, really good. They're probably better than the main characters. Honestly, I enjoy seeing the side characters usually a lot more than I see.
I love Kirk.
Lorelai.
Kirk has my heart.
Yeah. So
Kirk also, he's literally the Barbie of Stars Hollow because he has 5 million different jobs.
There's a Reddit thread on that too.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, there's a poster of him, and it says Kirk the Barbie of.
That's too funny.
Yeah. So
I saw a Pinterest post, and it was him, and he looks surprisingly like what is it, Barry the Bee or something from the Bee movie? I forget his name.
Oh, I don't know.
I can pull it up. Hold on. Just keep talking. You just
okay. So anyway, while she's pulling that up, I'll just be here and look pretty. I think that's it for this episode, really, until we see the picture out here. Here we go.
Oh. I don't know how to focus it.
Here we go. Pull it in.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah, that's
shockingly
that's
similar.
Pretty good. Yeah.
It scares me.
Technology that was more difficult than we thought it would be.
Yeah. I was just gonna hold it up here, but it was no, actually you're not.
So that's Gilmore Girls, and then it said we'll get this posted, and the next time you see us, I think we're gonna maybe talk about a book series that we enjoyed, or book series we didn't enjoy, endings or whatever, but you said you didn't have read maybe enough series to talk about. I don't know.
I just don't remember enough series. Okay.
Well, if it's not about that, we'll be talking about something else. We'll be back in a few weeks. I think if you've noticed, our schedule is to release something every couple of weeks. She's available, gentlemen. Single.
No ring on it.
Yeah.
Who'd have thought?
Yeah.
Crazy.
So, someday, get a hold of me. So yeah, I think any final thoughts on Rory or Emily or Kirk, Lane, Gil? I like Gil a lot. Gil's fun.
I liked Lane at the beginning. And then I liked her better when she started dating Zach.
The guitarist?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I liked her worse when she had kids because they didn't show her as much.
Yeah.
And it made me mad.
Yeah. They didn't really do...
They didn't do anything with her kids. Like,
Yeah.
what?
And,
Why does she have them? If... Anyway.
And Rory wasn't really a very good friend to her most of the time.
Wasn't.
Yeah. Rory and Lorelai, she got, like you said, she got her wish. She's just like her mom, and everything is about her.
Yes.
So, with that...
Wait, I'm not done.
Okay.
I also think it was funny how English, how when Rory joined college and she
Manitou Springs. Sure could be mommy.
Yeah, I know. When Rory joined college and then she joined the newspaper, and then she's had everything in her life handed to her. And so when she wrote one mean article and got some rude feedback about it, she quits college for a year because she's not used to things being hard for her. Because she's never had a job.
Right.
Like, everything has been handed to her.
Yeah.
And so...
Yeah, she... Oh, and then she got the place, the dorm in Yale that then her grandmother furnished.
Yeah, gave her furniture for it.
Then she leaves Yale, and her grandparents give her the pool house.
And then she moves in with Logan,
and
so she's literally never had to pay for
Yeah.
anything in her life. And I'm like...
How much did her grandparents say they spent on the pool house remodel? Wasn't it like $40,000?
Something like that.
And it's all ugly. It's not even very...
Yeah.
She didn't do a very good job.
And she moved out the next year.
Right. And then she went to, like you said, live with Logan.
Yeah.
And then she did go live with Paris for a while.
That's true.
In the dump. She kind of paid her, but then she was still running away from things. Anyway, yeah. The show, believe it or not, I mean, for all we're dogging on it, it's good. It's fun to watch. It's fun to watch.
Yeah.
Just don't expect your world to be changed. So, and maybe not even to like the main characters, but the side characters.
I liked Lorelai. I did not like Rory.
Yeah.
Rory was fine until she wasn't. And then I hate her guts now.
Yeah. They didn't really redeem her, because once she got her haircut and started the downhill slide, you just liked her less and less and less, because you saw what was happening to her. And
she
you
could have
just
fixed things so easily.
Yeah.
And why she also
This is bonus time.
So many things. Also, at her college graduation at Yale, Logan proposed to her.
Oh yeah.
And then she turns him down because, of course.
But she didn't turn down right away. She had to go think about it.
Yeah, she had to think about it for like 5 years, and then in the second series, of course, who's she back with? Cheating on his fiance and her boyfriend. Logan? What? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my rant. I'm done now.
Yeah. But now they'll have a kid together, just like her mom and her dad, who was rich, and then she got what she wanted, just like her mom. All right, with that, we'll post this. We'll see you guys in a couple of weeks. Like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.
Don't do drugs.
Bye.
I wonder if it does a thumbs up if you do it.
Whoa.
Oh,
I got
you got it first. That's unfair. It doesn't
it.
like me. It doesn't like me.
Only did it for me. You're a loser.